Alright, now a lot of you guys have been asking me to do a comparison of the Google Pixel 6a with the OnePlus 11R. And it kind of makes sense considering the fact that the Nord 2T is kind of, well, a little outdated right now. That being said, the OnePlus 11R is still priced about 10,000 more as compared to the Pixel 6a. So the big question here remains whether you should be spending the extra money on the OnePlus 11R, or does the Google Pixel 6a actually satisfy your needs? Let's find out. This is Varun from GTR and you're watching my in-depth comparison of the Google Pixel 6a with the OnePlus 11R. Let's get started. Alright, so let's start off by talking about the designs of both of these devices. And right off the bat, it's clear that the Pixel 6a is a more compact device, which also makes it a lot more ergonomic. On the other hand, the OnePlus 11R is definitely bigger in comparison to the Pixel 6a. See, individually, it's still a very good device to hold, but at the same time, it's not as ergonomic as the Pixel 6a. Also, one more thing I'd like to add on is that the texture on the 11R is very slippery. Now, in terms of looks, they both look like, well, they are flagship brothers. This one looks a lot like the OnePlus 11 without the Hasselblad branding. This one looks a lot like the Pixel 7 lineup, but of course missing extra lens and not having that much power also. But yeah, at least in terms of looks, it's quite comparable. Now both the devices feel equally premium. However, like the Pixel 6a does come with a plastic bag, but it has done a very good job of still making it feel premium. That being said, this still manages to attract a couple of fingerprints. On the other hand, the OnePlus 11R comes with a glass bag with a matte finish on top of it, and this practically does not get any fingerprint smudges, so that is always a plus point. Now in terms of haptic feedback, they're both excellent. I would still lean a little bit towards the OnePlus 11R, but that's just a personal preference. As for unlocking the device, the Pixel supports only an in-display fingerprint scanner, while the OnePlus 11R supports both a face unlock and an in-display fingerprint scanner. Now moving on to device protection, the OnePlus 11R does not have any IP rating, but it does have Gorilla Glass 5 protection upfront. On the other hand, the Google Pixel 6a has a slightly inferior Gorilla Glass 3 protection upfront, but the device itself is IP67 rated, so that's good. Right, now moving on, let's talk about the displays here. So the Pixel comes with a compact 6.1-inch OLED panel capped at 60 Hz of refresh rate. The OnePlus 11R, on the other hand, comes with a massive 6.74-inch Fluid AMOLED display with a refresh rate of 120 Hz. It also has a bigger resolution and it's a 10-bit panel. See, as far as the display quality is concerned, the OnePlus 11R is the hands-down winner. You get support for HDR10 HEVC inside Netflix, you get an improved screen brightness, and of course, like I said, the panel has a higher refresh rate as well, so the device works quite smoothly as well. Now, that is not to say that the display on the Pixel is bad by any means, but of course, the biggest down point of this display is the 60 Hz refresh rate. I mean, I would have been fine with everything else considering the price point, because you still get HDR certification here, the display is still pretty vibrant, works very well, no issues in that aspect. But like, come on, at this price point, you do expect a higher refresh rate. Now, aiding the display department are the stereo speakers on both, and noticeably the OnePlus 11R is louder than the Pixel 6a. Alright, now moving along, let's talk about the camera performance of these two devices. So the Pixel 6a comes with a 12.2 megapixel primary sensor coupled with a 12 MP ultra-wide sensor. On the other hand, the OnePlus 11R comes with a 50 MP primary sensor coupled with an 8 MP ultra-wide sensor, and there's an additional 2 MP macro sensor. Up front, the Pixel 6a has an 8 MP selfie shooter, while the OnePlus 11R offers double the megapixels thanks to its 16 MP selfie shooter. Now, in terms of camera performance, when you talk about outdoor shots, the first thing that you'll notice is that the frame is a lot more wider on the OnePlus 11R. Also, OnePlus tends to boost colors a little bit, going a little bit in the direction of saturated tones. Pixel maintains the natural tone of the colors. Now, in terms of contrast, OnePlus focuses on keeping the contrast balanced, exposing both the shadows and highlights in a very well balanced manner. The Pixel tends to boost the contrast, it does make the shadows a bit darker and the highlights a little bit lighter. Now, in terms of sharpness and details, the Pixel 6a shot looks a lot more detailed and sharp without any over sharpening. On the other hand, the OnePlus also clicks some very sharp images, but it does not bring out as much detail as the Pixel does, despite having a much bigger megapixel count. Now, in terms of HDR, both the devices do an excellent job of managing highlights and shadows. The Pixel 6a does edge out in terms of maintaining colors and definition of smaller elements in the picture. OnePlus tends to mess this up either by adding a halo effect or just making the smaller elements look soft. That being said, OnePlus is better in getting rid of any noise in the darker parts of the image. Now, moving on to human shots, Pixel is great with maintaining accurate skin tones, details, and sharpness. It keeps the picture very natural as opposed to OnePlus, which does tend to mess up the skin tones. That being said, a lot of times you'll notice that the Pixel adds a lot more structure to the image, and a lot of people do not actually like that kind of a result. So which kind of a profile you prefer is up to you. Now, moving on to portrait mode, the results are a little bit mixed. See, the edge detection is really good on the Pixel, along with the skin tones and sharpness of the subject. Now, OnePlus tries to add a natural depth to the image, but it's mostly a hit and miss. See, when it works, it looks way better, but there are times where it just looks very bad. Then we have the night mode. See, if you want to click more low light pictures, OnePlus will be the better phone easily. It has more data to process, and as a result, it significantly has less noise and produces an overall much better shot. Now, both the devices come with OIS stabilization, but in reality, it's evident that Pixel has a much better stabilization here. Also, the colors are a little bit more natural on the Pixel, while the OnePlus tends to boost the colors a little bit more here. Alright, so next up, let's talk about the performance. And the OnePlus 11R comes with the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor coupled with UFS 3.1 storage, while the Pixel 6a comes with the Google Tensor processor coupled with UFS 3.1 storage. Now, the benchmarks are on your screen, and you can see easily the OnePlus 11R blazes past ahead of what the Google Pixel 6a manages to do. What's more interesting is the fact that it does not even throttle as much as the Pixel 6a does. And the same thing translates to gaming performance as well. So the Google Pixel 6a is decent for gaming, and it does support maximum settings, but it also heats a lot more faster. See, at the end of the day, the OnePlus 11R is easily the better performer simply because it has a more powerful processor and has done better optimization to it as well. It also accommodates a bigger vapor chamber cooling setup, which helps in keeping the device cool under sustained loads as well. With all of that being said, when it comes to day-to-day usage, as a user, you would hardly notice any difference. See, they both launch apps at pretty much the same speed. Multitasking is decent on both, and the overall user experience is great on both the devices. Now, speaking of multitasking, I would still have to say that OnePlus does manage multitasking a little bit better because RAM management seems to be an issue on the Pixel 6a. Now, it has improved with the recent updates, but of course, it's still inferior as compared to the OnePlus 11R. Now, one area where the Pixel 6a is not inferior is the software department. But again, that depends on how you look at it. See, here's the thing. The Pixel 6a comes with stock Android experience, while the OnePlus 11R comes with OxygenOS 13 based on Android 13. So yeah, you get the latest Android version on both the devices. With the Pixel, it's a completely clean, neat and clean experience, free of all kind of bloatware. With the OnePlus 11R, I mean, by definition, you do have bloatware here, but for most people, that bloatware is essentially useful apps and not useless crap. So again, it depends on how you define bloatware. One advantage that the OnePlus 11R has is that you get way too many features here baked directly inside the software skin. So you do not have to download third-party apps to just perform various actions. You get all of those features baked inside the software part. Whereas on the Pixel 6a, you would have to download third-party apps to kind of emulate those actions. That being said, the Pixel 6a does get day one software updates, which is a massive plus, especially for geeks and nerds. Whereas, well, the OnePlus 11R does come with the promise of 3 years of software updates and 4 years of security updates, but the update schedule is not that good. I mean, in the recent couple of years, it hasn't been that good. A lot of the updates have been delayed, especially Android versions. So yeah. Lastly, we have the battery life. So the Pixel 6a comes with the 4410 mAh battery, while the OnePlus 11R comes with a 5000 mAh battery. What's more is that the Pixel 6a does not come with any charge inside the box, and it only supports fast charging up to 18 watts, which by modern standards does not even qualify for being called fast charging. The OnePlus 11R, on the other hand, comes with a 100-watt charger included in the box, and it does support 100 watts fast charging. So yeah, as far as the battery department is concerned, OnePlus 11R, easy win. Like, not even a competition. You get way better battery backup and you get amazing fast charging on it as well. Which kind of brings us to the verdict now. See, the Pixel 6a is available for about 30,000. However, in some sales, you can get it for about 28,000. The OnePlus 11R, on the other hand, is priced at a starting price of rupees 40,000. So yeah, essentially there is a minimum difference of rupees 10,000 between these two devices. Now, when I say that the OnePlus 11R is a better phone, that is true, and a lot of people would have expected that anyway, considering there is a big price difference in them. That being said, the question wasn't to see which is the better phone per se. The question was to see whether the Pixel 6a can satisfy most of your needs when you compare it with the OnePlus 11R. See, here's the thing. If your needs are getting a phone that's compact, easy to use, very ergonomic, has an excellent camera, has stable software, and you get latest software, the Pixel 6a is easy to recommend. That being said, if you have the money, the OnePlus 11R is a no-brainer. I mean, it beats the Pixel 6a right out of the park. And it's not to say that you will be wasting your money. The extra 10,000 that you will be spending on the OnePlus 11R will be completely justified. Now, with all of that being said, if you're still on a budget of rupees 30,000 and you do not have the money to basically purchase the OnePlus 11R and you're looking for a great alternative, I will suggest that you check out our review comparison video of the OnePlus 11R with the iQOO Neo 7 right here. I mean, it's a great device and probably the best performing device under rupees 30,000. So make sure you watch that. And also make sure that you subscribe to our channel and like this video as well. Till then, this is Varun from GTR and I'll see you in the next one.